Hello again, everybody, and welcome to the Mike Francesa podcast, part of the Bet Rivers Network. One of the great stories around this World Series is the fact that Don Mattingly, one of the most popular figures in baseball over the last 50 years, is finally going to a World Series. I mean, to say he was snake bit was unbelievable. He came to the Yankees in 82. They had just been to the World Series in 81. He left in 95, obviously, after a great postseason and a brilliant career. They went to the World Series year after year, starting in 96. He was even part of the 2004 staff that went through the utter collapse after the Yankees blew a 3-0 lead. And now he finally goes to the World Series, which has made a lot of people smile. He joins us now. Don, welcome. How are you?
I'm good. It makes me smile too.
Listen, you wanted to get there as a player. When you finally got to the postseason, you showed what you played with such great exuberance and hit 417. It never happens. I always say historically, there's two Yankees. One went to a World Series, Mel Stottlemyre in 64, never sniffed it again. You're the other, the two great Yankees who were just born in the wrong times, great Yankee players who were born in the wrong times. Was it frustrating all these years?
I mean, yeah, a little bit. I always felt like I would get there, eventually. I think when you play and you come through the minors, won every level, out of high school, it's like you're going to win, and been on those type of teams. Then you realize getting to the big leagues, it's not that easy, right? When you play in a division at that point, my career went through with no wild card until the last year. So it was tough to go get through and win the division. But I guess it was frustrating, but it's a feeling now.
It's funny that your teams, people might not remember now, or be old enough. Your teams, which were great hitting teams, legendary, you and Ricky Henderson and Jack Clark, Winfield. The Yankees didn't have classic pitching in those years, but you guys won year after year, but found some way to always fall short.
Yeah, I think the year that I think about the most in that run is 85.
Yep.
I think we win 97, 98 games. Toronto gets in. Clinch on the last day, or the day before the last day, game 161. They end up getting beat by the Royals. The Royals win the World Series. I think we beat the Royals 11 out of 12 or 12 out of 13 that year. That's when you kind of look at it and go, there's no way we shouldn't have been one of the teams at least had the opportunity to play, because we were one of the best teams.
Well, how much the wild card has changed everything. There's so many great teams you can look at through the years that could have won championships with the wild card. There's no question.
Right. I think Atlanta and San Fran too. Didn't they both win 100 one year, and one gets and one doesn't?
Yep.
That's just not the best teams in baseball for the chance to win it all.
No, absolutely. All right, you guys are decided underdogs against the Dodgers, who are an overpowering team on paper. I mean, let's be honest, they've played brilliantly in the postseason after kind of sleepwalking and marking time during the regular season. But we've seen it a million times in short series what can happen. First, let me ask you about Bichette. Can he contribute down in the series?
I'm not sure they've made that final decision that he's going to be on the roster. He's swinging the bat. He's been swinging the bat for a while and swinging really well. I think it's going to be it's going to come down to with John and the medical staff and Bo talking through and saying, okay, what's he going to be able to do? Is he going to be able to protect himself in the field, make plays, run the bases, all those type of things? But swinging the bat, he's going to be fine. But I know John and staff, the rest of the staff have to make that decision before I don't even know what it's 1 o'clock today or something like that.
No, this team is in this era of million strikeouts, velo and uppercuts and home runs and everything. This team's a little bit of a throwback. You guys hit the ball. You guys put the ball in play. You get great at bats. It'll be fascinating to see that matched up throughout your lineup, top to bottom, against this kind of pitching staff, which has, let's be honest, Snell and Yamamoto pitched back-to-back games that are as good as any I've ever seen pitched in a series. I mean, that's how good they were. You're going back to the Kovacs, Drysdale kind of stuff with those guys. How about your offensive team, which is terrific at that and has been and really beat up the Yankee pitching, which was very good? How about the matchup, and what do you think you guys have to do against, especially the 1-2 guys in their rotation?
Yeah, and I think you can go 3-4. I mean, when
Right,
you're getting to 4 and it's Otani,
right.
it's like this is a group of number ones they have, and like you said, they're going to be a handful. And I think we're equipped as any club, but you looked at Milwaukee, they were equipped the same way. They put the ball in play and things like that. Um, our club is like that. We do feel like we hit the ball in the seats a little bit,
Yep.
and we hit it, enough. And that's kind of been our trademark, has been able to find numerous ways to win games. We've been able to do it with bunts. We've did it with the home run. We've did it with getting multiple hits in innings. We've did it a lot of different ways, and I think that is going to be the key for us to just try to put pressure on their pitching,
You
right?
know,
And the
go
kind
ahead.
of 1 through 9, how we do it is it's battles up and down the lineup. Hopefully, push Snell, push Yamamoto, push Glasnow. All of them to make pitches, continue to make pitches, and hopefully make mistakes.
Don, usually, and we're talking with Don Mattingly, of course, usually you want to work counts. The Yankees were always great at that in the 90s and early 2000s. Work counts, get the pitch counts up. But against these two, especially Snell and Yamamoto, they throw nothing but strikes. So with that being the case, you have to pretty much be aggressive from the get-go, right?
Yeah, our hitting guys have did a great job, I think, of identifying, like, hey, if they want to throw first pitch strikes, we're letting it loose,
Right.
right? If they're not going to throw first pitch strikes, then we're going to have to battle and fight and work the count, or not necessarily work the count, but keep working to get what you want. And I think you've seen it with us. I think the first 2 games of the Seattle series probably caught a little criticism because we were aggressive. We were swinging too much, right?
Yep.
They were throwing strikes. We were getting after it. We just weren't getting hits. And again, I think our hitting department has did a tremendous job of putting our guys in good position and having game plans that fit us and what we do.
Guerrero's having one of the great postseasons of all time. You can put it with the Bonds postseason, the Beltran postseason. Amazing productivity, power. I'm not going to say it's surprising in any way, but how about him coming to the fore the way he has this year?
No, it was perfect timing because late in the season he was getting his hits, but he wasn't really driving the ball and doing what he usually does.
He hadn't hit a home
Uh,
run a month right at the end of the
yeah,
season, right?
and he caught fire, and it tells you about great hitters. And he is a guy that hits good pitching. He's the kind of guy you can't really overpower Vlad. You may get him out, he may chase a little bit, but you really can't throw too hard for him. And when he's hot, it doesn't really matter who's out there. So I think that's what you see with great hitters. He kind of caught the feeling in the playoffs. Not that he got motivated. You get hot and you start to catch that feeling, uh, and that's what he's done, and he's been riding it.
There are guys who just have reputations. Springer's always had a reputation for being a big game guy. I mean, that's been his reputation his whole life. We know that. Okay. But talk about coming to the fore with that home run. I mean, you couldn't hit a more clutch home run. And I wasn't the least bit surprised. I mean, he's done it his whole career.
He really has. George is really. I tell you, and I actually told him this probably a month and a half ago. I'm like, George, I haven't seen this. Really haven't seen this version of him. This whole season he's been tremendous. This guy has been incredible all year long. He came off a tough season last year. Whatever he did in the winter, he went back to work. Figured it out and came to spring training. Struggled in spring actually. A lot of talk of George. He's kind of lost it. He's done, and then he's had a season for the ages. But George walks up with a game plan, and he commits to it. And within that game plan, he lets it fly, and he plays kind of fearless. And I love the way he plays. And he's shown a true George Springer this year that he is dangerous.
We know how good Guerrero is. Okay, we know how clutch Springer is, but the guy to me, like when I think about the Blue Jays, Kirk is the guy I think of. He's kind of emblematic of how you guys play. I mean, that to me, this roly poly guy, who puts the bat on the ball and hits line drives all over the place. I mean, I love watching Kirk play. Kirk to me is like a throwback player.
For sure. I mean, Kirky is a really, really good hitter.
Yeah, he
And
is.
he can do a lot of things. He'll hit the ball to right field down the line. He can hit the ball to the ballpark the opposite way, pull the ball. Again, another guy that hits good pitching, doesn't really get overpowered. He'll get hot and cold. I think the catching part of it wears him down a little bit. But he really made a commitment, I think, over the last two seasons. It's really showing this year and you don't necessarily see it by the way he looks, but he's in a lot better shape than he's been in, and his strength and everything has improved. And so he's made a true commitment to doing that. But he is a throwback, and he is a little bit about what we do. He'll foul off pitches. He's going to fight you. Um, it is emblematic of our club, and you have to give these guys a lot of credit. I know it's like we were in last place last year. We go from last place last year to this. I think it's definitely, you know, a lot of credit needs to go to the players, what they've done. But John Snyder, I think the rest of the coaching staff has did a great job of like, bringing something to the table, staying with these guys. And they are a ball club. And that's what I love about them. They're a team. They play with fire. They have fun. And I've told a lot of people, they just show up and play. And they
Don,
show up when we're hot, or they show up when we've lost a few in a row. It's the same team every day.
you guys had such a great run there in the middle of the season. You got red hot. You pounded on the Yankees. You took over the division. It looked like it was over. Then all of a sudden, you guys went into a slump. Okay, and it lasted until the last week of the season. The Yankees were getting hot because they had a very easy schedule the last 20 games. They get hot. They're putting the pressure on. The division's now up in the air, up in the air. You guys are playing really badly. And then that last week, it turned around and you won the last 4 games. You swept Tampa Bay. What happened in that last week? What was the turning point at that moment? There must have been one pressurized, or at least a moment where you guys felt, hey, we need to win this division and, have home field, the whole thing. And you did it that last week where you turned it around, won the last 4 games. I know there was a grand slammer by Varsho, but was there anything said? Was there any meeting? Was there anything that went on that last week with this team?
No, nothing different. And you're right. We did catch fire, and I think we won 11, 12 in a row. We went into Detroit, beat those guys 3 out of 4. And then we kind of played 500 baseball after that. And it seemed like we didn't really catch the same role. But the club always looked the same. They kept playing. They kept going. I thought the last maybe 10 days we tried a little too hard. Our offense kind of sputtered there for a minute.
Right.
And then we got a big win in KC. I think it was one of the last days there in Kansas City before coming home, and we had to play Boston and Tampa. And they just kind of kept playing. It's like we talk about. They just kind of kept showing up. They looked the same when we weren't winning all those games, or we were kind of playing 500 baseball there, late in the year. But they looked the same, and then they caught fire. We got a little rest. That really helped us to win the division. Really helped us. It got our pitching to be in the right spot. I think our guys got a little bit of a rest. I thought we did a nice job during the 5-day layoff. Did a lot of live BPs, a lot of crowd noise, knowing it was going to be loud in New York and anywhere we go from here on out. And I thought John did a good job with that and getting us ready. But the guys just kept showing up and playing, and they looked the same even when we weren't going as good.
We're talking with Don Mattingly. Don, you guys are going to be decided underdogs. You are. Anybody was going to be decided underdogs against this team, okay? They've won 9 out of 10. They've won every game when their starting pitcher's gone 5 innings. They have incredible pitching. They have incredible power. They're a gazillion-dollar lineup. We know that. They embarrassed the Yankees in the World Series last year. to me, that's a great opportunity to be able to play a team like that, because it's, a win against a team like that is historic. How is your team approaching the idea of playing the mighty Dodgers?
I don't think it will be any different. I think we'll just prepare. We'll play. Uh, Again, these guys show up and they play, and we play pretty good baseball. We catch the baseball. If we can put it in play and get some key hits, make pitches in big spots. A series is a series. When you play 7 games, you catch a little momentum, and I really believe that our club feels like we can beat anybody because we've been doing it all year long. When we've had to win games, we've beat good pitching. We've beaten Scooble. We've beaten Freed and Rodon, and we've beaten the big boys, right? So we've been taking them on all year. So there's no reason that we don't take these guys on and are capable of winning games with these guys.
How has Toronto? Listen, you were in New York. You're as popular a baseball figure as there's been in the last 50 years. You're as popular a Yankee as I've seen since Mickey Mantle. I've always said that. I mean, the Yankee fans worship you. How is it in Toronto right now for the Blue Jays?
Oh, it's incredible. This team has really captured not only the city but the country. And by the way they play, we've had over 50 come from behind wins. These guys don't quit. The way we play, and I'm gonna say we, but I'm gonna say really the players, the way these guys go about their business, it looks like Sandlot. When you watch Sandlot, those kids play, it's like they're having fun. And if you see them on the bench and you hear them down there, they are a unit. They play ball, and the fans have gravitated to these guys. And it's been really fun to watch. So Canada is on fire for these guys.
How is your relationship during the game with your manager? I always thought that when Torrey lost Zim, it really affected him. Because Zim was the riverboat gambler and Torrey was the more conservative. And then Joe, I thought, got a little conservative when Zim wasn't there anymore. How about you prompting your manager during the game and the dialogues that go on? Does he like a lot of information during the game? Does he want to hear a lot from you during the game? Is it more quiet during the game? And what's the relationship?
It's fairly quiet. I'd say me and DeMarlo Hale are. DeMarlo's the associate manager and a bench coach. I don't know what those roles mean or whatever,
Right.
but
Right.
I think we both are good for John. John's more the gambler. He's more the Zim, and he's not afraid to make decisions. He's not afraid to try stuff. I love his style and the way he goes about it. He's a really good manager, and he's really smart. So he's got plenty of information stored in there. I think there's times during the game that it's like, hey, what do you think here? Or it's DeMarlo or myself. You said, hey, just knowing what's coming, right? Because he's got a lot going on in there with the pitching and how we're going to do this or that. Hey, you want to hit here? Is it because we do a lot of we platoon a little bit?
Yep.
We pinch hit a lot, but sometimes you can't because you can't go back and forth. And so it's like we just got to make sure that just try to give him time to make that decision that he wants, right? So it's pretty quiet for the most part. I think him and Pete Walker, who does a great job with the pitching, they're talking a lot. I'd say DeMarlo and myself are probably more quiet, watching, paying attention, and are there when needed.
We're talking with Don Mattingly. Don, you've had every kind of baseball success, okay? MVP, 9 Gold Gloves, we can go down the list. When you get to the sideline tomorrow, when they announce when they make the announcements and they bring everybody on the field, just as it's about to start, what are you going to be feeling?
Going to be feeling great. It can't be much better than the other night when Jeff Hoffman gets that punch out, and then we're going to the World Series. That was an incredible feeling, and I don't know if it's you're always in the moment, like what are we doing? How are we going to win this game? So you're always in that moment, but then all of a sudden, a lot of years of trying to get to the World Series just faded away, and what a great feeling. So it can't really be any better than that, I don't think. Maybe it is. Maybe it will be. But looking forward to it. Looking forward to watching our team compete. Again, I've said it a lot. I love this team and love these guys. They do a tremendous job of playing the game and trying to do it right.
Well, we're thrilled that you're there. Good luck, and thanks for a couple of minutes. Good to see you as always. Thank you, Don.
All right, Mike, appreciate it.
Take care.
Talk to you guys.
Don
Thanks.
Mattingly on his way to the World Series after all these years. An amazing, amazing story when you think about it. One of the great generational baseball players, as popular, I would say, over the last 50 years as any baseball player. I don't think there's any question about it. Now, the Mike Francesa newsletter. Sign up for the free Mike Francesa newsletter. You'll get exclusive content, contests, and offers. Go to the MikeFrancesAPodcast.com and sign up right now. Remember, it's all free.